Step 2, get some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flaws, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up, really gon' rise to the sun. Step 2, get some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
I'ma say this right here, baby, because some of y'all be acting like y'all don't be seeing it. But, baby, playing victim in a situation that you created, oh, yeah, baby, that's narcissistic as hell to me. Hello, somebody, how you gonna create the storm, then get mad when it rain? How you hurt somebody and then get mad that they hurt? How you damage somebody, go outside your way to destroy a person and then get mad when they no longer want to deal with you? Baby, playing a victim in a situation that you created, oh, baby, that's narcissistic as hell to me. I'm sorry, but it is.
Hi, Bullhorn Betty. Thank you for my shirt. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Kids Club.
We will see you guys back here real soon. I'm Jennifer Santanello, and this is Layla. She's my firstborn child. She's the child that made me a mother. If my girl is out there somewhere, I would like for these stories to reach her. She seems to have vanished, and we have been investigating her disappearance for almost 3 months now. We need more eyes on her story. We need to shine a light and get her story out of just this small town that it's in. I am here to implore you to share and talk about our girl. If my girl is no longer with us, I would like for those who know what happened to her to feel the pressure.
What inspired you to this particular case?
I'm always interested in stuff like this. Obviously, talking to you about the Summerwell stuff like that, I'm not always trying to be on the right side and help people that are hurting. But her being local, and like I told her, my son's 25 and Layla ain't too much younger, so
Yeah,
it could
so
be anybody from Kingsport. It's the
It
way I
could.
look at it, you know.
Yeah,
And more people should be here helping her, as far as I'm concerned.
I agree.
Many of us came from all over the country to help Jennifer Santanello look for her daughter. Can you help? If you know something, say something.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
Well, happy hump day, my beautiful people of YouTube, and we are running live on Twitter this morning. X. I don't know if I'll ever get used to the X thing. I got to be honest with you. I'm not sure how many other people are out there struggling with the same problem as me, but I understand the business has been sold, but quite frankly, I'm still going to call it Twitter. I heard they sold the sign. The sign went for buku bucks. I'm just hearing through the grapevines. I didn't even know they sold the damn sign. Yeah. Nice to see you, X. All my exes live in Texas. Did their headquarters move to Texas? I'm just curious. All right, stop. I know. It's too early. Skittles Crime is up in the house. First to say hello, and she reminds us she's number one. Have you put your DNA on the thumbs up button for BHB, or did you leave it in the trunk of the car? I want to know. Take the poll. It's me, Jen. Good morning. GG for life. Before I actually go any further, I just want to say this because we have two of our mods, many of our mods, including Bullhorn Betty, right? And everybody else, right? It's the holidays. There's a lot of people out there struggling. I've got two of my mods that are having medical issues. I got another mod that has, a sister that's very, very ill. So our mods do a great job here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. I have to be honest with you. They do an amazing job here. And just give them some prayers, as we're going into the holidays. Don't forget to tell them thank you for all that they do, because really at the end of the day, what makes the chat enjoyable is them, right? I don't really pay attention to the chat. I know you guys chat away, and every now and again I'll get in the middle of a conversation. Sometimes I'm confused. Sometimes I'm blushing. Some of the things you guys talk about. But I don't want people to forget the mods. They're really, really great. And actually on that same note, I tell you, I feel like I have the best mods in the world. I really do. They love me. I love them. They're like a family, right? And so I get this rolly bag, which if anybody knows, I carry a lot of crap with me. So wheels is always a nice thing. Then I'm out to check my mail yesterday. And so I didn't, no doorbell, I don't check my phones. I keep all my notifications off on my phone because my phone literally just dings all day long, right? I have all kinds of notifications. I'm always searching for stuff. So I have all these things that ding me all day long. And I don't even know where I got all the notifications at. So I just turned the notifications off. So I did go back and realize there was a notification, but I didn't know it. Okay. So I'm going out to check the mail, walking back, and I'm like, I'm on the phone with somebody, right? And I'm like, there's a box at my door. I don't remember ordering anything. What the heck did I order? And so I'm opening it up. I'm like, the heck is this thing? I'm pulling it out. And so I put it back in. I didn't even want to check because the next thing was this battery pack. And I'm like, am I going to be a bionic woman now? So I'm like, you know what? It came from the mods. They deserve to watch me open this thing. I don't know what this battery pack is for, but it's clearly on top. So it's a little concerning. Do we have jetpacks on this thing? I'm just curious, girls. Do we have jetpacks? So I don't know what it quite is yet. It says warning. Warning to avoid danger of suffocation. Oh, sorry, it's not funny. It says keep away from babies, but I get that, right? Plastic, keep away from babies. I'm glad they put that on. They put that on the packaging. Let's see what this thing is. This thing's thick. What in the world is this? It looks like almost like I don't know, a sweatsuit. What is this thing? This is waterproof, windproof, breathable, keep warm. What is this? It's like a rain jacket. Oh my God. I just said, who was I just speaking to? I was just telling somebody a story. Oh my God, this is too funny. I do not have a rain jacket. I was just telling somebody this story. I tell you guys all the time that I my neighbor and I, we change. I cook for him a few times a week. He cooks for me a few times a week. We just kind of do this thing. He's a lot older. I like knowing he gets a wholesome meal a few times a week. And I know I cook wholesome meals. So it's just, so I take him over food. Well, I had made a dinner and it was, it was a Sunday dinner. So it was something a little bit bigger than a normal weekly meal. And I didn't want it to get cold, and it was fish. So I'm like, crap. And all I had was my hoodies. So I end up taking one of my plastic mixing bowls and putting it over the plate. I'm in flip-flops. I'm slipping and sliding. I got all this food. I'm slipping and sliding in the rain with my hoodie on. I got no rain jacket on. I got no umbrella in the house, but I needed to get this hot meal over to my neighbor. I tell you what, don't tell me I don't take care of that neighbor. But I said something about it. That's just funny. I can't remember if it was a mod that I was telling that story to or not. Anyways, I don't think it was, but it might have been. But God bless you guys. I now have a rain jacket. Who knew? I live in Florida and do not own a rain jacket. Excuse me, a rain jacket. Call me crazy, okay? I don't know what happened. I guess I got rain boots. I guess I have a rain jacket. Well, now everybody's going to see me, right? Everybody's going to see me. I'm going to be glowing in the dark. I love it. I love it. I do love it. Thank you, ladies. Thank you. God bless you. Gigi for life. Sonia, beautiful Sonia. Nice to see you. She's got some new shirts out. You guys should go over and check out her merch store. Yes, Pain Today. So good morning. Good morning, Amy. It's nice to see you, Pebbles. Good morning. Good morning, Angela. It's nice to see you. Crystal, good morning. Southern Grammy, it's nice to see you. I hope everything's going good with you and the new biz. TL, it's nice to see you. Who else did I miss? Tammy Sue, good morning. You guys have been chattering this morning. Sassy Southern Mama, I love it. I love it. Good morning. Good morning. And I don't know who the mystery person is. I gotta be honest with you. I don't know who the mystery person is that sent me my mocha latte. Okay. I have a new favorite coffee. I've never tried that stuff before. I have to be honest with you. I've never tried the mocha latte before. And you guys know how I am about peppermint mocha. It is the season for peppermint mocha. Oh my gosh. Ooh la la. Right. You guys had seen me have a drink-gasm or whatever the heck you guys call it. The day I had the first sip of peppermint mocha, it was back in. It was embarrassing. It was embarrassing. I enjoyed it that much. And it was live here on this channel. Well, actually on the other channel. But either way. So I was out Winn-Dixie the other day and I got myself some peppermint mocha. I didn't even get the fat-free stuff. So I'm craving peppermint mocha. I didn't get the 0-calorie nothing. It's got it all, right? So I get this mocha latte. Somebody bought Betty coffee and it was mocha latte. And I'm like, ooh, mocha latte. Let me try this stuff out. Threw some peppermint mocha in that. Oh my goodness. I am in heaven. I am in heaven. I am in heaven. I'm just. Oh yeah. That's the stuff right there. That's the stuff. Holy smokes, that's the stuff. Good morning, my beautiful huntress. So tell me, are you still on the turtle? Are you still on the turtle? I don't know if anybody knows this game called Turtle Island. It's on a friend of mine. His name's Dolly Vision. Him and his beautiful PJ, they set up this game. They got this stuff. Thank God PJ got involved because now it's really getting good, right? Like now we got real game pieces here. We got real cards. We got real. I mean, it's really, this was not like season 1, right? This is not season 1 Turtle Island. This is season 3 Turtle Island. And I got to tell you, they pulled out all the stops. They put on, and I'm kind of excited to see what season 4 has to have. I get kicked off. Okay. I'm Bullhorn Betty. It's a love-hate relationship with people. Some seasons I do good. Some seasons I just don't. I flunked this season, but it seems like it's wild over there anyway. So God bless them. God bless them. I love how they do it. Before it was like, we want to see Betty drowned in the water. And now it's like, oh, well, we want to kick them off for strategy. Yeah, that's going to be my answer. It's going to be strategy. We're going to boot our frenemy because of strategy. Well, I wish you guys would have been that nice and vocal when I was on the back of that turtle. Just saying. Huntress, I'm gonna vote you on for strategy. Okay, Huntress, I'm gonna be on there. And I gotta say, listen to this. I was trying to call Dolly's channel. I really was. I was trying to call Dolly's channel. I was trying to get my voice heard. My voice heard, right? Bullhorn Betty wants her voice heard on the Vision, right? So I'm calling and I'm like, I had everything down. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna get up there. I'm just gonna tell everybody Merry Christmas, and I'm gonna pass my because I don't vote. I don't like, I'm not gonna vote for people on or off unless like it's at the beginning and it's good fun and I'm involved and it's like we gotta participate and stuff like that. Yeah, then I'll start voting people and stuff like that. But when I'm out, I don't really get into it. I just want everybody to have fun and whoever wins, wins, right? I love the actual game itself. It's hilarious to watch. It's hilarious to watch. But anyways, hopefully you're still on hopefully you haven't had to take the long walk off the short pier yet. I've taken that walk 3 times. Thank you. I think I'm the only person that has walked the plank 3 times. I have walked the plank 3 times. I have swam with the sharks, folks. I have swam with the infamous fake proverbial sharks. I can't. That's my plug for Dolly Vision Turtle Island. That's it. God bless you guys. Okay, God bless you guys. Oh Lord. Okay, so let's get on with it. So what am I doing here? What is going on with Layla Santanello? You guys know that we have really worked hard and we have provided answers to Jennifer. We were able to close at least some questions she had. Did we bring Layla home? No, she's not home. It's I see Mike, Joy, everybody else, the Real Me Too. God bless you. Real Me Too, another one that had. So we got everybody's jacked up in the Bullhorn Betty chat. Everybody's just like on something, right? Like we got feet surgery, we've got back surgery, we've got, I don't know. Good morning, everybody. If I missed you, I'm so sorry. Love it. I see you. Nice to see you. And I don't see ICU. I hate her name some days. I tell her, oh, that's what the battery pack is for. Holy smokes. I got it. Oh my gosh. It now makes sense. I couldn't understand the rain jacket. And when I opened the rain jacket, I was so excited about the rain jacket, I forgot the battery pack. I got a heated rain jacket and jacket. It's like I want the light bulb to go off on top of my head. I feel like, who knew? Thank you guys. Oh my God, I've never had a heated jacket before. I've never had a rain jacket. Well, I have had a rain jacket. I don't know where my rain jacket is. It's like, I live in Florida. I know I've had a rain jacket, but I don't recall ever putting a rain jacket on for the last decade. It is nice. Bullhorn Betty, next time we're in 17-degree weather, is just going to be like, right? I'm going to be sporting it. The last time I was there, I'm like, guys, I'm going to have to let you go. I feel like my fingertips, they're going to shatter. They're going to shatter in a million pieces. Yes. All right. Enough with the intro. So Layla Santanello, she went missing on June 27, 2023 out at Kingsport, Tennessee in the Eastone Commons. We've done a lot of videos on Layla Santanello. We've asked the public for help. She has worked tirelessly. She's worked tirelessly to raise money for a PI, a local PI. She has worked tirelessly to raise reward money. So people, because I mean, at the end of the day, this area, $3,000 is a lot of money, right? It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money to Bullhorn Betty. I can't imagine, I live in Florida, like $3,000 is chump change for many people. Out in Kingsport, Tennessee, $3,000 is a lot of money to everybody, if you get my drift. So having this money for this reward, and we're still working to try to get that up. So we will, that's one thing I forgot to post in the description, was her GoFundMe and her Cash App if you'd like to donate. All Jen has really asked for is really this light display. She wants a light display in Layla's honor. She's really working around the clock. Guys, she was in the rain at a Christmas parade handing out flyers, not just for her daughter, but for another missing girl named Holland Snap. This is really, really just sad. Holland still hasn't been heard from. I haven't heard from the detective, which I don't ever do. When we hand over, leads or anything like that. And that's kind of where our conversation with law enforcement, they don't, tell us it panned out. They don't ask us any, really any questions. There's only been like one time I've actually received a follow-up call from law enforcement, and that was to meet them out there to show them the location of something that was found. And that's about it. Other than that, when we hand the stuff over, they do their stuff. If it leads to something, it leads to something. Only them and the family and the people will know. We're still putting Holland Snap in our prayers. But before we start talking really a whole lot about Layla Santanello and her case, I wanted, there was this many know that I'm on TikTok. I spend a lot of time going through some stuff on TikTok. I've got a good following over on TikTok. And so every morning, one of the things I do is just check my account, right? Just see what's out there, see what's new, see if there's new information out there. And of course, people know that, Jennifer Santanello and I, we've met each other. We have a connection. I would like to call her a friend as well. But in all fairness, I have to keep arm's length distance from the family. And in most part, I still have conversations with her, but I don't, we're not, we don't talk every day, So I don't always see some of the things that are posted. And so while I'm on TikTok, I get on this, I'm going through my feed and Jennifer pops up on it. And so I listened. I always, whenever I see Jennifer's messages, I always stop to listen. This is a case I'm covering. This is a mother. Not only that, but I like to gauge, how she's doing. And I can usually gauge, is this a good day or a bad day? Should I send her a text message, to uplift her, just stuff, so I always check. I always check just to kind of gauge where we are. And so I saw this and I just thought, this is so beautiful. This is a woman that just is really looking and searching for her daughter, and she's pulling out all this. She's a mom, she's a fighter, and God bless Layla for having such a wonderful mom as Jennifer Santanello. And I'm going to say that with all sincerity. I've met this woman. I broke bread with this woman. I've seen her pain. This whole story, in all fairness, like even talking about it, my eyes always seem to tear up just a little bit, and I hate things that make me emotional because I don't like being emotional when I talk about cases. I'm an emotional person, don't get me wrong. I like to remove emotion out of cases. So obviously I have emotions when it comes to this case. I have a personal connection when it comes to this case just because of the walk that I had. And the fact that this could have been me, many people don't realize that I myself lost my life, and had it not been for resuscitation, I would not be here. So this case hits very much home for me. These are some details that I've never really disclosed to a lot of people. At least I don't believe I have. I know I talk a lot about my story, but I don't know how much, sometimes I share a little more and sometimes I don't. So this case really does hit a personal note for me. Okay. It's very personal for me. Finding out answers and who did this to her family and her daughter is very personal to me. And so I come across this video and I see her, opening up and sharing more. And a lot of the reasons why I share the stories I share, and they come under heavy scrutiny and are just completely picked apart and made to be something to humiliate me with, instead of what it's supposed to be, is to help others, with their story and their struggles. And I feel that Jen is doing that here. This is going to be a long video. It's almost 10 minutes, but I want every person here to listen to it. I really do. I want you to hear her. And I don't want you just to listen. I want you to really hear her. Hear what she is saying. There are more people out there that are living the life she's living right now. And this message could help them share it around. It could find Layla. Again, she hasn't been found. There's a lot of information leading one way. And the longer she's gone, the less hope you get. But there's still always possibilities. So we never want to extinguish those possibilities. So we still want her face around. We still want her the videos being passed around. We still want this to be talked about. So I just want you to hear from Jen Santanello more about her story, more about her struggles, more about Layla Santanello.
Stephanie Harlow has covered Layla's case on her Crime News Weekly podcast. I've been meaning to talk about it, and I'm so glad that you brought it up. She did an absolutely incredible job of covering the case, and she gave me a lot of praise for being so open and honest and transparent, because at the end of the day, all I really want is my daughter home. And I have been, for the most part, but there are a few details about the months leading up to her disappearance that I have kept to myself. I've alluded to some of it, but I haven't gone into detail. So it's time for us to have another coffee and conversation. This is going to be a long one, and it's going to be a hard one for me. I do want to start out by saying the events that I'm about to discuss are going to be discussed from my perspective and my point of view. I can almost guarantee you that if you ask Layla or her boyfriend, they're going to give you somewhat of a different account of what happened. It's all perspective. And all I can do is give you the facts from my lens. The other disclaimer is that I didn't keep this from the public because I am embarrassed or ashamed of my daughter. I myself have been in recovery for 7 years. I'm not embarrassed. I am not ashamed. I simply worried that the judgment of others would conflict in my ability to share her story and get the word out. We've discussed how we lost my dad a couple years ago, and Layla took it pretty hard. We've discussed the whole traumatic situation with my son and his diabetes diagnosis in January. What we didn't discuss was that in December, I started to have concerns about Layla and her behaviors and started to wonder if there was something going on substance-wise with her around Christmas time. Did reach out to a family member who was kind of in that scene and asked some questions. What's going on with them, etc. I was told that it wasn't as big a deal as I was making it out to be, and that she was fine and everything was fine. At the end of February of this year, Layla's boyfriend was arrested. When he was arrested, Layla's cell phone that he had with him when he was driving around was confiscated by the police. Her boyfriend's family also put Layla out. They chose to blame her for his arrest for whatever reason. I'm not going to go into details about what all he was arrested for. I don't even know the exact details, to be completely honest with you. I don't want to say. A few days after her boyfriend was bonded out, my daughter called me early in the morning, crying hysterically. I haven't slept in days. We're staying with these crazy people. They're always fighting. Can we, I just need to sleep. I need a shower, etc. Absolutely. Where are you? I'm dropping off the kids at school and I'll be right there to get you. I pick them up, bring them back here. They slept for hours. I mean, probably until the next day about. They got up at one point to eat. They were starved. They were miserable. And I just remember feeling this like weight and darkness around them. The next few days go by and they don't smile. She is not herself. It's just it's not a very pretty situation. And so I have all these concerns. By the end of the week, my concerns were confirmed. I won't go into detail right here, right now, exactly how that happened. I might be able to do that at a later date. I do feel like this is my daughter's story, and it's unfair for me to tell it. But with things being the way that they are, I do want to clear some things up. Upon confirmation of my worst fears, I told my kid right out here behind these doors behind me, we sat on the deck and we cried for an hour, maybe longer. And I begged her to stay here with me and let me get her clean and detoxed, or let me take her to a program. I told her I would detox her and her boyfriend together in my basement if I had to. I would research and I would get it done. I begged and begged and begged, and she had a plan, or so she thought, that she was going to be able to do it on her own. And I know from experience that early on in active addiction, you truly do believe that you have control and that you can stop when you want. And I'm telling you, y'all, this was very, very early on for her. This was all very, very new to her. I don't say that to say that because she was a newly addicted person, she deserves more love and help, and that's not what I'm saying. I'm just letting you know that she really didn't know what she was getting herself into. Prior to this, Layla was anti-substances, right? She maybe partook in some of the devil's lettuce, but other than that, no, she kicked people out of her life for being addicted to pretty much anything. She was incredibly judgmental towards people in active addiction. I had put her through a lot in my years of, and if y'all want like a whole story time on that, I'll happily share it. It's just not the time and place right now. By the end of the conversation, I had to tell her that I couldn't have her in my home using those substances. Her brothers are here. Her baby is here. And I couldn't put them in danger. And I did feel like having that in the house was going to do just that. I did eventually end up applying for temporary custody of Nova Grace. There's a whole nother story that goes with that, and I'm not sure I'm ready to tell it. It's Nova Grace's business, and give me some time, please. I will say that it was about 6 weeks after I had discovered what I had discovered that I chose to petition the court for temporary custody. Our first court date was May 30th, I believe. And we had another court date set up for June 28th. And Layla went missing on June 27th. And the fact that she didn't show up to court that morning cemented within me that something was terribly wrong. Because I know her, and I know she would not just walk away from Nova Grace. Not in a million years, regardless of what other things were going on for her. When we cried on this back porch, most of the tears were because she didn't want Nova to have to go through the things that she did. And not just with me. I am not a perfect parent. I don't try to stand before you and say that I am flawless and that I had never messed up with my kids, because I still do it all the time. I've made big mistakes and small ones, and all I can continue to do is learn from the mistakes that I do continue to make. Try not to make the same ones twice. Yes, Layla was struggling mentally and with substances, but I don't believe that that should deny any of us the chance to find her or the opportunity to fight to bring her home.
There you have it. We're, obviously this is a mother that is struggling to find answers. She's struggling to find out where her daughter is. Her daughter has not been found. She can't, there's a high probability she's not going to make it home at this point. Does that mean that there is no possibility? Of course not. It's just statistically, it's not in the family's favor, as you can imagine. She's been gone for a significant amount of time. She's always maintained contact with her family. She has not in a very long time. She has to have money. She's always depended on family to help her out. She has not reached out for money. The only contact for money is when somebody got into her account and was requesting a whole lot of money, saying that they would not let her go until they got it. Since this case has gone on, there's been just a lot of information that isn't necessarily accurate. So what I want to do is just clear up any misinformation about the case. I really do. I want to make sure that the record is factual, make sure that you guys know what is corroborated and what is known and known to the public and allowed to be known to the public. We're not getting into, I don't know any information that should not be shared with the public. I don't have any insight on, other things going on in the case. I only know that what we all know and what is all in the public eye. So Layla, before she went missing around the 24th, apparently there was, as you guys are well aware, there was some kind of disagreement, confrontation, whatever, between Layla and her boyfriend. 23rd, 24th, somewhere around there. On the 24th, her boyfriend, Michael, was looking for her. Okay. He was reaching out to Jennifer Santanello. He was texting her, asking her to check hospitals and jails. Whatever happened, he's looking for Layla. He had been looking for Layla up until the time where she was at the hotel. We don't know, there's a lot of questions as to why she was acting so bizarre at the hotel. There's a lot of information from the fact that she was with somebody else, to she was scared of him, to she was worried about the police, to she was worried about the drug dealers. I don't know. Okay. We don't know what put her in this shock phase or, bizarre phase. We have no knowledge, no corroborated factual knowledge as to what put her in that state. There is some speculation as to the reason she was in that state. And I just gave you some of the reasons, but nothing has been corroborated, nothing concrete as to why she appeared to be fearful and running from something. Okay. That's what it appeared. That's what was in the very initial report. She was frantic and ran into the woods. That's what we heard. That was on reports from whatever it was, the endangered missing persons site. That's what was on that. Because we were very confused about the 26th or the 27th. Nobody knew if she disappeared on the 26th or the 27th at the time that we started covering the case. Since then, all that has become clear. It was the 26th that she ran into the woods. She was seen coming out of the woods, parting. We talked to the gentleman that watched her literally walk out of the woods. We talked to him at length. He described what he saw. She asked him for a cigarette. He did not smoke, and she proceeded to the Greenbelt. Okay. That was around 8:30-ish in the morning. Okay. There's an hour window, I believe he said between 7:30 and 8, but I think he said he got there at 8. I'll have to go back to the video, but there was like literally from 8 to 8:30 was the window that he saw her. Okay. We learned from the same person that a gentleman, now mind you, I'll just say that what he said. He said a gentleman had walked up to him and asked him, "Have you seen my wife?" That's what he used, my wife. Not girlfriend, not Layla, nothing. The gentleman described the person as being Michael. So the morning of the 27th at around 9:30, Michael is at this business asking the same man that watched Layla walk out of the woods and onto the Greenbelt. And he talked to Michael. So we know that he told Michael the exact same thing that he told us. There was a window of time that still hasn't been fixed. And it's a 4-hour window from when she got on the Greenbelt at 8:30 to when she arrived at the ice cream shop between 12:30 and 1, or 12 and 1. I think it was around 12:30, but we'll just say for the exact police a range of 12 to 1. She was at the Marble Slab Creamery. We found an area that a lot of people seem to know her. We were on the Greenbelt for days and following nobody, even the people that were out there that were, in the same environment using clearly, people that were under substances did not see her on that Greenbelt. I asked just about every person that we came up to on that Greenbelt, and nobody's seen her. But when we got to this specific community, we started getting hits. We started, people knew who she was. So that was promising. Jen was able to speak to somebody. I'm not going to disclose those conversations or who that person was. But she was able to get some information from that person that had been told to her by other people. So she was able to corroborate or disprove some of the information that she had been provided by other people by this conversation. So this last trip, we went out there because we were looking to see if maybe that's where she was for the 4-hour window prior to her making it to the Marble Slab, because it was in close proximity to the area where she was last seen. And clearly, people in that area knew who she was. So it did imply that she did hang out in that area. There were certain areas of that community that we were guided by people that lived in that community to go to. We searched as much as we could possibly search. We did not find Layla. What I can tell you is there's a lot of abandoned houses, not a lot, but there's quite a few abandoned houses over in that area. And these abandoned houses are filled with a bunch of garbage, littered with just crap strewn about. And it just makes me wonder, is she in one of those abandoned houses? I don't know. I don't know. I think it's definitely that's the area that we were able to get a hit. But getting back to it, when we got to the Marble Slab Creamery, we waited until it opened, and we actually spoke to the lady. We actually spoke to the lady that had made contact with Layla the last time she had been contacted or she had been seen. This is the last person. This is the Marble Slab. Okay, she was physically seen by an eyewitness at the Marble Slab. So this illusion that the last place that she was seen and corroborated to being seen was at that AmeriCorps hotel is factually false. It's factually false. The lady at the Marble Slab Creamery told us that Layla was there, that she was a little frantic looking. Yeah, she was a lot more calm than what we heard she was at the AmeriCorps at the time that we talked to the lady at the Marble Slab Creamery. She told us that she used her phone, that, she was trying to call somebody. She could tell that she was thirsty. She gave her something to drink. She asked her if she wanted to eat. She said that Layla had a little bit of cash on her, and at this time she didn't have a purse, or maybe she said she did have a purse. I can't remember. I don't think she had a purse, but she did say that she had some money and on her, some cash, and she was going over to the Five Below to get some flip-flops. At that time, she could tell that there was something going on, and told Layla that if she needed to come back to use her phone, she could. So Layla did use her phone. That has been confirmed. It has been corroborated. She did call somebody. The lady at the front desk said she was trying to use Messenger because the person she called that she was trying to get a hold of, one of them couldn't come get her, too far away or something to that effect. And she was trying to get a hold of somebody through her Messenger app. But this lady was unable to, she says she's not technical. She didn't know how to install the Messenger app or the Facebook app on her phone. She's a much older lady. She doesn't really obviously engage too much on social media. So she just couldn't do it. And so Layla couldn't make any more calls, but the lady told her if she needed to, come back for anything, to please come back. And that was the last that anybody had heard or seen from her again. Now, I will tell you that the lady did tell me some more details other than that, but that's all I'm going and willing to share at this time. So you can kind of see that right fairly after like the Marble Slab Creamery, we believe that she was picked up. It makes sense that somebody came and did pick her up. We can't confirm that. And, for a long time, we thought she was on foot. I truly believe this is not factual. This is just my belief and my belief only. I don't even know if Jennifer Santanello even shares the same belief, or anybody in the family even shares this belief. But it is my belief that somebody picked her up. Now, I don't know if they picked her up in that plaza, if they picked her up within a half hour, 45 minutes. I believe she was picked up. That's what I truly believe. I don't know who picked her up. I don't know what. So you can imagine my shock when I hear that there is an officer knocking at a girl's door by the name of Kiera Daughtry, okay? And that he's wanting her to give a statement. So this is the first time that even had a scintilla of, evidence to support my thought that she was picked up, because he even said that you were the detective I'm speaking of in that clip. He said you were the last to see her. You picked her up. So it always made me wonder, and people are trying to say that this Kiera Daughtry is, I'm sorry, if a detective is knocking at your door, you need to either cooperate as a witness or you're going to be cooperating as a suspect. I mean, he's going to have to talk to you. And people are like, well, a PI can testify in court. You're right. A PI can testify in court, but he cannot provide a statement or testimony on behalf of another person. It's called hearsay. She has to provide the statement to police. He cannot provide the police her statement. It doesn't work that way. Even when you have a lawyer, you still have to provide your statement. So even your lawyer can't go and talk on your behalf for your statement. They can defend you. They can represent you and speak on your behalf in those respects, but not when it comes to your story, your testimony, you. It's not going to be the lawyer sitting on the stand having to say it before the court. So this notion that she doesn't have to give, that Kiera is not obligated to speak to law enforcement about the disappearance of Layla Santanello, I think is wrong. But we still have to go back because we still have a lot of information leading up to this. You know, what happened to Michael? Did he ever find her? Because we definitely have a witness that puts him in the area right before her disappearance. And then we hear the officer afterwards talking to Kiera about picking her up. So we don't know what happened to her. We don't know where she went. So this illusion that anybody has an idea of where she went or what she did, nobody knows. That's the problem. That's what law enforcement is trying to decide and decipher. And you got somebody like Kiera Daughtry not cooperating with law enforcement for somebody that she used to call friend. She called her friend. I mean, trust me, Layla just doesn't pick up phones and start calling people and asking for rides from people that are strangers to her or don't like her. And this is her friend not wanting to talk to law enforcement and hiding behind her mommy. And I just don't get it. I don't get it. But, you know, either way, Jennifer's just trying to find answers. And if Kiera, you know, here's a probably newsflash, maybe reach out to Jen and tell her what you know. If you don't want to talk to law enforcement, tell Jen. Because I can tell you, she's the one searching for her daughter. She's the one out there in the rain. She's the one taking care of Nova Grace. She's the one living, drinking, eating, and sleeping this case morning, noon, and night. She's faced with it every day when she has to change the diapers for Nova Grace, when she has to put the bottle or feed Nova Grace. She has to do all of that. And every day it's a reminder of what she's living through. Every single day. And there's bad information out there. Now, I don't know really what more information I can share with you at this point because it's unknown. We've got several people that appear to have knowledge in this case and are unwilling to cooperate with law enforcement from where I stand. That's what it looks like here. And I'm just hoping that somebody will reach into the pits of their hearts and souls on this, you know, Christmas holiday and realize this family's struggling and needs answers. Needs answers. And those answers could actually be rewarded by $3,000, leading to the whereabouts of Layla Santanello. So if anybody knows anything about Layla, her mom needs answers. Her family needs answers. Her daughter needs answers. What do people think? I'm curious. I'm going to be going through the chat a little bit, and we're going to read some articles. Let me get this down. We're going to be reading some articles here in just a moment. But what do you guys think is going on? I mean, we got a lot of moving parts. Many of you guys have experiences that we don't have. You know, many of you guys have dealt with this in your own life where you have a child, you know, that's on substances and things like this may have happened to you. You know, share your story. Maybe there's some key or some information that can help in this case. If you know the struggle, if you've experienced it, if you've lost a family member because of it, if you've had a situation that sounds a lot like this story, what happened in your case? Share that. Share, what can happen, because a lot of these things, this is what I learned, when I was when I first met with Steve and Christy Gonzalez, is that they were going through such immense grief. And, they obviously have, the counselors and stuff like that that they can use, but they said that there's nothing to tell you how this is going to happen. What takes place in when you have a missing child or a murdered victim. What are you supposed to do as a family? What are you supposed to do as a community? There's no real guidance to help people. There's nothing out there to say, this is going to happen to you. This is what to expect. This is, there's nothing to warn families of the process, because the process is brutal. And I'm not talking about the social media process. I'm talking about the lawful legal process. It is a brutal process. It is a brutal process for the family seeking justice, and people don't understand that. We watch the cases unfold from the detectives' views, from the front views of their doing the crime scene investigation. We go into the trial courts and watch the trials take place and see their evidence presented. But we never stop to take a look and think, what about these victims? What about, this time that they had to endure, the time, the wait, the unknown? It's brutal. It's an experience that I don't wish upon anybody. I literally don't wish it upon anybody. It's a brutal experience. And that's just the law enforcement experience. Then you throw some social media in it, and it's enough to send you to a padded room. I see Jennifer struggling. I see her pain. I see her tears. I see her struggles. We all do. She's putting her life on the front stage just to get attention and awareness to her daughter. And I feel so bad because, she's like, I'm not flawless. None of us are. None of us are flawless. I don't care who you are, whether you're anonymous and hide behind an emoji. You are not perfect, and you've made a hell of a lot of mistakes yourself. But you know what? She's fighting. She's here. She always seems to make her daughter number one. She's always thinking about Nova Grace and the fact that Nova Grace is most likely going to be raised without her mother. This is this lady's firstborn child. It's Christmas. That's got to be a tough pill to swallow. Thanksgiving. I can tell you, during Thanksgiving, Jennifer, it was hard. I can tell you that. It was very hard for her. And sitting around a Christmas tree is always just a little bit more hard, right? Thanksgiving's one thing, but Christmas, something totally different, isn't it? Sitting around watching everybody trying to have joy in their face and in their hearts and in their minds as they're thankful that they got these beautiful gifts and treasures under the tree for them to open. And a mom sitting there trying to enjoy all her children and her grandchild smiling as they have a wonderful Christmas, knowing that her daughter's not with them and not knowing where she's at. So I hope the people that are out there, you guys understand it is the holidays. These families need a break. I hope that maybe instead of filling inboxes with hate and venom, maybe fill it with love, uplifting messages, joy, support, understanding, because she could use it. She could use it. And if anybody is in those chats and you guys see any family member in there, maybe that's what you need to do. Fill them with some love, some support, and uplift them this holiday season. Because every single one of her family members, every single one of her friends are going to need it. Because this is the first year that they are going out without their loved one. And that's got to be a very hard pill to swallow, especially for the beautiful souls in here that understand that pain and understand those first holidays. They need all the prayers and all the support that the world can provide them. So let's throw some prayer hands up in the chat for Layla, for her safe return, for her family, to give them strength and perseverance to get through this tough and difficult time, strength to get through the holidays, and the strength to still show love and try to have a little slice of happiness in all the grief. Because we know there's a lot of grief, and if we can just pray for just a little moment of happiness for her, that's a win, in my opinion. It surely is. There's a lot of people out there that need help. There's a lot of people out there that are struggling. If you find yourself in an abusive situation, please start working to get out of it. If you find yourself, and Jennifer is right. That's the bad thing about addiction, is you don't even know you're addicted until it's too late. You don't even know you're going there until it's too late. And when she described she didn't know what she was getting herself into, that is a absolute accurate statement. And only the people that understand what that statement is understand it. Because I can tell you, you think it's controllable until you're driving to the store to pay your bills, and the next thing you know, you're knocking on your drug dealer's door. And you think that's normal. So my heart goes out. And she is a beautiful soul. She deserves justice. She deserves to come home. She deserves to see her child again. We need to do our part and put her face out there all over, but make sure that we have the right and corrected information, not this speculative stuff, not stuff that's corroborated, not, well, we think we saw her on another video down the road. That's not corroborated evidence. That's not corroborated information. We only want real information out there. Okay. There's a lot of things going on here. And yes, people know something. Do I think Kiera holds some information that could be beneficial to this case? I absolutely do. I think there's several people that know exactly what happened. And I think they've talked to other people about what happened. So I definitely believe there are many people that absolutely know what happened to Layla Santanello. And I'm asking somebody to get a backbone and come forward and spill the beans. You will be protected. If you had nothing to do with it, you will be protected. I guarantee that. So pick up the phone. And if you want to tell the story and do it anonymously, here's a secret. Let me tell you a secret. Call 1-800-TBI-FIND. Report the tip anonymously. Just report the tip. Because few people, know something. All right, guys. So that's really all I have. Let me go through this chat and see if you guys had any questions that pertain to the Layla Santanello case that I could answer. If I can't answer, I'll reach out and see if the family would be willing to answer. If not, that's pretty much all I know. And I do want to make sure that you guys know that there is a Facebook group out there, so you can have all the updated information. We actually have the Facebook group pulled up, and we're going to go through some details and some information on that Facebook page, just to kind of give you guys some other insight and information about her case. Yeah, I mean, I think there are a few people that know. I don't know what people know. I just think, if nothing more, they know where she was, where she went. Right? They know where she went. Oh, I think I went up way too far. I can't remember already posting all of these. Let's see, what does it say here? I know it was hard. That video was really hard. That's why I put it up here, because to be honest with you, by the time I watched it the first time, I was in tears. And I mean, it is a, you can see a mom pouring her heart out, just for people to understand, because let's face it, you guys don't understand what she's getting behind the scenes. So she's being, slightly from people, because everybody seems to always have the answers. It's funny because when you're dealing with this and you're living it, your brain is not functioning like it normally should. Even for a parent, you're out of sorts, you're off kilter, you're off balance. You don't know what to do. You're watching your child struggling. You're watching your child go through something you don't even understand. And, because let me face it, I am an addict. I'm a recovering addict, right? So but I don't understand that drug. I only understand my drug, right? The drug of choice that I chose to use. I don't understand that. I've heard about it. I've had people tell me about it. I've had people explain to me the withdrawals and stuff like that. But it's one thing hearing about it. It's another thing living it. In the same way for a parent watching their child struggling through it. And people have so many things like, oh, well, you should have just done this and you should have done that. And if you would have done this and do this, you it's like, okay, well, you don't understand the chaos that is going on that throws you off kilter because you're not living it. People, it's so easy to judge people and judge people's decisions and judge people's maneuvers on the outside looking in. But it's like, if you were thrown into that situation, would you have made the same decisions or would you have made worse decisions? So it's like people just don't understand. Is there somebody that could have made better decisions than another person? Of course there are. Is there people that make worse decisions than other people? Of course there are. The judgment when it comes to this, I don't know how judgment is helping find Layla Santanello. All it's doing is beating up a mom that clearly we can say has already been beat up enough. She is missing her daughter, right? I would say that that is a punishment that nobody should have to deal with. Nobody. And to club a mom of a missing that's taking care of her granddaughter over the head, I just find as despicable and appalling. I don't care how you feel. But my problem is I don't even think it's the hate. It's the fact that they feel that they have a right to portray and their venom onto somebody else. Like, why don't you talk about it on your own channel or on your own Facebook page, or how you just have disdain for a person or this, that, and the other. But the boldness just to go up to that person and unleash all your venom on a person that's already struggling, that's going through the worst walk of their life. I guess I just don't understand the mentality of a person that does that. I really just don't. To me, just doesn't seem human. It seems evil to me. I don't know how other people feel about it, but that it just seems evil, like devil evil. Devil evil. From New Jersey, my best was struggling with alcohol, ran off to Music City, Tennessee, and was killed on a railroad track. Killed walking drunk too close to the track. Very sad. Wow. I'm sorry, Crystal. I watch a lot of true crime stories, and I watched a story similar to that, but it was of a guy, and he was an alcoholic. And he drank on the job. He also drank off the job. So he was waiting for a ride, and apparently he got drunk and used the rail track to prop his head up and fell asleep. I'll leave it at that. That's as much. But the reason why it made it on the show is because they didn't know how he got there. They thought, he was murdered. He could have been murdered, or, it was a way to destroy evidence, or, whatever. But it was a homicide investigation, and come to find out, it ended up being a terrible accident where he just got really intoxicated and laid down and fell asleep and didn't wake up. So it was, wow, sorry to hear that. It always feels fresh, even 18 or more years later. Yeah, I mean, loss of life is loss of life. If you guys would like to donate the lights to light it up for Layla, they're doing that. You can send your donations to the Santanello family at P.O. Box 1835, Mount Carmel, Tennessee 37645. Guess who I saw on TikTok this morning? Remember Ricky Beavers, our buddy? He's just been really doing really well in his music, and he's gone to Spotify. And I was actually scrolling through TikTok, and lo and behold, there was our beloved friend singing his veteran song. I'm pretty sure that's the song he sang live here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. But I thought it was interesting, and I decided to share it. I shared it on my TikTok. So if you guys want to get over there and look it up, that'd be great. Hi, Gypsy Lady. It's nice to see you. Why did the police search his house? That is a good question. I'm trying to think. I don't think anybody has released that information yet. So I'm going to say I don't know why they searched his house. I don't think that's been released by law enforcement or Jennifer Santanello yet. I'll see if I can find some answers for you and get back to you on that. But right now, I don't think that information as to the reason his house was searched, I don't think they provided a reason yet, just that it was in connection with a missing person case. I think that's really all they have alleged so far. But I will ask and see if there's any more clarification on that. Yes. It's nice to see you, Van Lady. Good morning, love. Good morning. Lori Lowe, I will give you a call after I'm done with my live today, which means probably around noon, because I always get busy right after my live. But I will call you. I want to schedule, if you still want to go to the church with me. You don't have to, because my mom did say she wanted to go. So if you don't want to go, or you're jammed up, just let me know. But I was thinking about going up there to drop the gifts off. So just whatever, I'll call you when I'm done here. But I'm planning on doing it this week sometime. Okay, where are we? I think that was really it. Sometimes where they get the money for drugs is a dangerous part of their lifestyle. Yeah, sometimes when they put themselves out there, but everything when it comes to their money, because let's face it, they're not really working. So all of their money is coming from means that could put them in jeopardy. Whether it's, burglarizing cars, homes, themselves, putting themselves out there. It is all very, very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. Thank you, Lulu's Nana. Okay, always. So that's really all the information I have. I want to see if there's anything else in here, and we'll go through some of the stuff in her Facebook post. What really sad is we handle the mom with kids' gloves. Yeah, too, because always easier for her to relapse. Yeah, and thank God Jenna is a strong lady. Thank God. But we've seen it all the time. I mean, look at it. Xana Kernodle's mom, a prime example. Well, I don't really think I don't know whether she was clean or not prior to Xana, but I have to assume she wasn't, because usually when you get clean and you get sober, you start making those connections with the people that you lost connections with whenever you went out there, because that really is the people that loved you the most, right? They had to step away because they couldn't see you, killing yourself anymore. So one of the things that you do is make those healthy connections again. You've got to change your people, places, and things. So you make those healthy, like I said, healthy connections again. Um, but with Xana's mom, she never made those healthy connections back with her daughter. She still didn't know what her daughter drove. She didn't know where she lived. She didn't know what room she was in, even though Xana had been at that college for several years or a couple years or something, definitely more than 1 year. And she was, I think she was already in 2 years. And so basically her mom said it the whole time she's been at college, she's never visited her daughter once. That doesn't really sound like a mother that has gotten clean to me. A mother that's gotten clean to me is a woman that's trying very hard to rekindle the relationship with her daughter or her family at all costs, because it's part of the program. You have to repent basically for the things that you did, the trespasses on the other people. You've got to go up there and you basically have to make a list and inventory of everything you've done wrong in your life, and you got to make amends for them. So one of those things is going back into the people that you hurt. And typically some of the first people that you hurt in your active addiction is your family. So that's why I don't really think she was sober, but if she was, God bless her. Maybe she was trying to do it on her own. But either way, she spiraled downhill really quick right after her daughter died. That happens a lot. It happens more than you know. When something really tragic happens in somebody's life, sometimes it's easier to escape, and they already have a path of escape because they were in it for so many years. And it's just, I don't know how. It just, for whatever reason, when stressful situations, even though we know it's not going to make the problem better, it's just the escape. It really is. It's just the escape. It's not caring. It's not wanting to care, and it's not caring until it's over, right? Until the high comes down, and then it's 10 times worse. It is. Thank you. Thank you. There's a video confirmation sighting near a storage unit after that. There's no that's not true. There may be a video that may portray it. It has not been confirmed. It has not been corroborated. And heck, even Jen didn't even know about it until it was in a Sun article. So if it was out there, wouldn't Jen know about it? And even so, where is it? This is words. We have seen nothing that supports that. Literally nothing. That's what I'm trying to say. Yes, there's an article out there saying that exists, but where is it? That's my question. Where is it? Because I asked Jen about that. She had no knowledge that there was any video showing Layla any other place, because at the end of the day, there's very limited surveillance cameras in the Kingsport area. They don't really have traffic cameras. They don't really have cameras out in the parking lots in their community. The cameras are inside stores pretty much only. The only time we found an exterior camera at even the marble slab, like in that plaza, that East Stone Commons Plaza, was on the back side of the Ashley store at their inventory door. So they don't see like employees stealing merchandise. That's literally the only camera on the exterior of that entire building there. Now, do they have some on like Chili's and there was a couple restaurants at the front of that? I didn't go over there to look, but I didn't really see any on the backside of the in the parking lot where Layla was. So the cameras, they have some cameras in the area, but not many. So I'm curious about the quality of imagery on that camera. And I'm not saying that it doesn't exist. I'm just saying, where's the video? That's what I'm saying. Nobody has said anything about the video other than this article. It has not been produced. I asked Jen about it. She doesn't know anything about it. She hasn't heard from law enforcement that it exists. So I don't know. Or if it does exist, whether it was Layla or not. We don't know. That is speculative. Until it's corroborated, it doesn't exist. It just doesn't. We've had no proof of it. None. To the best of my knowledge to date. I know that, but they took out a lot of evidence, and now I don't hear what they found. Nothing about him. Well, that might be a couple of things, Gypsy Lady, because forensic processing takes time. For example, when we were in the Kylan Schulte and Crystal Turner case, now, mind you, they were brutally murdered. in Moab, Utah. They were shot to death. One of their bodies was nude, and half of the body is in the stream, this trough, this irrigation trough, and the other one was down a ways. They were both shot and killed. And so you would think that they would have a rush on the forensics on that, which they did. But it still took almost 10 months to get the forensics back. So that's the bad thing about, our forensics. Now they're making leaps and bounds. The DNA stuff alone is just amazing, because it used to take so long to process DNA, and they've got it down where they can process some of this DNA in a matter of hours. It is amazing. So we were getting technology that's speeding up the processes and a lot of stuff, but it still takes, there's an overwhelming amount of cases, and it still takes they have to all go through the process, and they have to have sanitary areas. I mean, it's a large, well-to-do process to get this stuff, the evidence. I don't know what other evidence they have, but I have to think that a lot of the evidence would have had to have forensic testing. And even the data, like the digital forensic test, that still has to be done by an expert. And sorry, sometimes the pressure or the movement makes it itch in my ear. I don't know why. I don't know. I need to get some phone. I don't like stuff over my head. So I decided to opt for these things. That's why. I didn't want to look like a radio jockey. Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Show. Get ready to rumble. I need to stop. I wish they disclosed if they found something on it or lead. You would like to think that they would share a little bit with us to give us an idea of what's going on. But I think the important thing is that law enforcement is doing their job in this case, or at least perceived to be doing their job in this case, right? It's not really about us knowing. It's about following certain leads. It's about getting leads over to law enforcement, right? It's about getting the leads over to law enforcement to investigate them so that we have meaningful resolution in this case. Utilizing the public is good, but we've seen the damage that social media can cause, right? Especially when I'm associated with it, not because of stuff I'm doing, right? I mean, it really, we can see that the proof is in the pudding now. It's not really the stuff that I'm doing. It's really the nasty that comes with it. It's really the nasty that comes with it. And those things they do affect these cases. So you can only put so much out, especially with publicity. That's really it, because look at this. If you had a situation, let's take Idaho, for example, the Idaho murders. Everybody under their sun was playing armchair detective and literally blaming people without one scintilla of facts or evidence to support their claim. And they were literally turning that person's life upside down, because if they think it's got to be true. So this is the situation. This is what makes it hard for law enforcement to share a lot of details. If the social media world would leave these victims and these suspects alone, like not be calling them murderers and stuff like that. And I know people are saying, but Betty, you're out in front of their house. Yes, I'm protesting for their arrest after the crime, right? Look at Quentin Simon. She was named the suspect. I didn't name her the suspect. The police named her the suspect. They just wouldn't arrest her. And I was saying that they were putting the community in jeopardy and not holding justice for Quentin. So there's a lot of things that law enforcement can tell and will tell, but you have to be honest. There's a reason why they don't tell. Because people here will start calling people murderers, calling their jobs, doing stupid crap like that, which, by the way, we have never done. We've never called people's jobs. I threatened to call one teacher's job, but I've never called her job. And besides that, if I was going to call, I wouldn't call her school. I would call her district. Duh. Makes me wonder if they keep leads on someone that they are keeping close to the vest to make. I have to think that that would be more up the alley of why things aren't being shared too much. I would have to say that that would probably be an accurate observation, in my opinion. In my opinion. My second thing is I believe there's a serial killer there. I don't know. I don't know if there, I don't, you know what? This is a small community. People are going missing there. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. I'm glad the other girl that was near Layla, I can't remember her name. She was found. Um, she was found, I think, because there was so much stuff. I mean, it like by the third girl, there were sirens going off. Like every person on social media, from TikTok to Instagram to YouTube, was running with. There's a third person missing in Kingsport, Tennessee, and I think whoever she was like, "Girl, you got to go. You're too hot for me. Go home." Like I really think that's what happened, and so she ended up winding up back home. Long story short, you know, she's safe, and we're very, very thankful for that. So that could have turned out, but she was really more connected to this case than I would assume that Holland Snap was, you know. And so that's what really, really, really concerned a lot of people, was that she knew Layla. She definitely is in that same circle and people and knows the same people, and she also disappeared. That was like, I think it caused everybody to freak out a little bit. Did you see the news article saying she was yes, Mary, I saw the article. Okay, articles mean nothing to me. You have to corroborate the information. There's an article from the Sun newspaper. If you've been on my channel for any length of time, Sun does not confirm any information. They purchase their articles. I could literally make an article filled with lies. As long as it's selling, Sun will purchase it from me and post it. Okay, that's why I have a problem with any Sun article. Anybody that's watching, I think you've been here many times when I've talked about how I do not trust the Sun articles. Where was this posted? In the Sun. It was posted in the Sun. And just because somebody says it exists, I've asked Jen about it. She has no knowledge of it. I'm confident that she reached out to law enforcement. They didn't make any reference of it. So I have to say, at this point, until either Jen says it exists or law enforcement says it exists, it doesn't exist. I don't care what this actually, to be honest with you, you know what, the Sun article, I can show you right now, the Sun article posted about Brian Laundrie. The Sun actually posted that Roberta Laundrie was standing in the hallway of her secret apartment in Northport. That it was Roberta Laundrie in the MLS photos, and they plastered that all over social media. And then the Sun article picked up that article, so I went and knocked on that door. It wasn't Roberta Laundrie. As a matter of fact, the lady in that photo was the one standing at the door, and she lived in that apartment for 15 years. And her apartment has always been ran by the same management company, even though she knows it's had several different owners since she's been renting there. She's rented there for 15 years, and the Laundries were her third owners of that apartment. But you wouldn't have known that from the Sun because, again, their information is very rarely absolutely accurate. I do not follow the Sun. I do not like the Sun. And even when I bring up Sun articles on my show, I always put a disclaimer that the Sun is untrustworthy. And if you don't believe me, I know you do. I know you do. But if you don't, just for everybody that follows me from day to day, if that is an accurate statement, if I've made that disclaimer about the Sun, paper, magazine, whatever, if you've heard me say it over and over again on this chat, please put a 1 in the box below so everybody can see that I am being truthful and accurate with that statement. I do not like Sun articles because they are deceptive. Good morning. It's nice to see you. I've been told by many family members and friends up there told me that the cartel is bad there and they stalk women at Walmarts up there. So scary. I've heard about maybe 2 incidences at a Walmart in that area. And I can't even tell you if they were in Kingsport or not, but I will say in the area. I've heard about 2 of them, 2 incidents. That doesn't mean there's not more that exist. There absolutely could be. But one thing that we did learn at like the not Marble Slab, the AmeriCorps Hotel, is that when you owe, I don't necessarily know if they really need to stalk people for them, because really they can go over to the AmeriCorps and get and pick up a girl, because they're a lot of the girls there are on drugs, and when they have a debt, they got to work it off. I mean, that's just how it works. So I always try to look at, because it seems like, when I look at criminal enterprises, they like the path of least resistance for the low petty crimes, and not that ST or HT is a low petty crime. It could be, because it could be associated with some of the drug crimes. Now, granted, low petty crimes implies that it doesn't hurt people or it's not dangerous, and that's not what I'm trying to say. I'm just trying to say that as opposed to like, R and murder and all the child stuff, I'm talking, that's what I'm saying. Those are major, and I'm saying that these are much lower level is really what I'm trying to apply. But I got to put it down to scientific level and microscopic level, because some people like to twist my words apart. So that's really what I'm trying to imply, is just that these are not as violent type crimes as some. So I think they would take the path of least resistance and prefer getting somebody hopped up and taking advantage of them that way, as opposed to, but you never know. You never know. HT is all over the world. It is possible. I know that people are targeted. I absolutely believe it goes on in this country. I absolutely believe it goes on around the world. And I absolutely believe that we don't get the true numbers of really what goes on. I believe that very little of our crimes in our local areas are actually reported to us. I think if we knew how much crime was going on around us, we wouldn't want to walk out our door. And I think that that's why they only give us the big stuff. They don't let us know what's really going on. They don't let us know that Granny was just jacked down on the street corner and robbed at gunpoint. They don't tell us that. But if we have a bank robbery, they'll flash that up for 2 seconds, So it's just, it really is bad. I think that crime watch. I can't remember. There was something I used when I was in real estate that I always gave to my clients, when they were searching for homes and stuff like that. And they would crime mapping. That's what it was called, crime mapping. And this crime mapping program would tell you all the types of crimes in the areas. It even tell you where, where the RSOs are in the community. I got to tell you, it's scary. There's not a place around here that doesn't light up with at least 1 or 2 of those red dots. I mean, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. Right? It's everywhere. Let's see what else we have here. Did you see the news article? Yes. She's claiming they weren't now, but my understanding that isn't true. She's claiming they weren't now. I don't know what that means, Sonia. She's claiming that they weren't now. It's not true. That's okay. I'll keep reading. If I knew where someone was but didn't like them, it wouldn't matter. I would be there for the family. Absolutely. Amen to that. Amen to that. I hope everyone who works this hard for missing ends their nights in a positive light. Oh, thank you. Because this is over and over and over after another. Can you really wear you down and out for all the missing? Yeah, it's sad. And our hearts break for these families. Our hearts break for these families. I had a sister that went missing because she was ashamed. She lived on the streets for 3 years while we were looking for her. Aw. Well, I'm glad she was safe. I mean, that is a, it's sad, but it's a good, it's a good ending to the story. I mean, I'd much rather know that I'm sure Jen right now would so hope that her daughter is ashamed and just, living on the streets at this moment, because I can tell you what's going through her mind is, I just don't even want to think about it. I don't even want to think, because she's such a beautiful person. Jennifer, her kids, they're all just a great family. They really are. I've met every one of them. And she's done a good job. She's done a good job. She's a good mom. Life doesn't come with this book of instructions. It really doesn't. Many people say the Bible is the book of instructions, right? But many of us, throughout our life, we get distracted or move away from it. We don't realize that it is. And we have a lot of, even when we are reading the Bible, we make a lot of mistakes. We make poor decisions. We have accidents, things that were unintended, we didn't see. We have setbacks. We have, triumphs as well. But it's a hard walk. And she does it like she's almost my hero. I mean, Jennifer Santanello really is almost my hero because I see how much fight she has in her. And she's at this uphill battle, and she's been taking and fielding so much, and all she cares about, she doesn't care about any of it as long as she finds answers for her daughter. How can you fault a woman like that? I mean, this is what this is what I hope and expect in every single person. Seriously, this is what I hope and expect in every single person. Let's look at this.
Strictly, bitch, I don't play around. I cover my blood. I'm up and all over town. Strictly, bitch, I don't play around. I cover my blood.
Sorry. I'm not used to working with.
Strictly, bitch, I don't play around. I cover my blood. I'm up and all over town. Strictly, bitch, I don't play around. I cover my blood. I'm up and all over town.
Okay. So you guys get it. She's singing, and she had a beautiful voice. Her mom talks about her voice. She talks about her having a very, very, very beautiful voice. I hope I get to hear it one day, in person. I really, truly do. I hope I get to hear it in person. Let's see here. There it is. Sorry. Let me take it off here. There's certain things I want to show, but I don't think I need to show everybody's stuff on here. There were some, this is the girl right here, Shauna Lee. That was the name. That was the name of the person, Shauna Lee. She was the one that was found, and she came home safe. So I know there was a lot of heartburn, especially when she went missing, and we went into her social media and saw the very clear connections. And I got to be honest with you, there for a bit, my heart was in my stomach. And so it was such a relief to find out she was found. I think we found that out on the show live, that she had been found. See if there's any information here that might lead us one way or another. Oh, I always love Olivia. Let's listen to Olivia, my beautiful BFF. Oh, this is about the oh yeah, that's right. This is her. Yeah, here.
Ice cream shop where she'd asked an employee there if she could use their phone to call someone. She was barefoot, she was running away from someone, she was scared. But listen to this new video. The detective tells the witness that she lied to him, that she had told a friend that she was the last person to see Layla alive, but she's very defensive. Listen to this and let me know in the comments what you think.
I've asked the detective to leave.
I should probably stop. We don't want them flagging my channel again, because they're saying that this video is not in the public square, which it clearly is. Again, false striking. Bad practice to get into, but absolutely a false strike. They're trying to say this is a private video. She's never shared it with anybody. Well, I kind of find it funny because it's all over social media, every single platform. But yet I'm the only one hit. Love it. But I digress. Let's go here. Like I said, we'll figure it out. Guys. Oh, hold on, guys. I just realized my shared screen just dropped. There we go. Our beautiful Olivia. Coming to a screen near you. Oh, our beautiful Olivia.
The third missing woman in Kingsport has been found safe. KPD released this statement and said that surveillance footage inside the Five Below saw her leave, and TBI was able to locate her. Holland and Layla are still missing and endangered. There is a connection between the two. Layla's mom says that they knew some of the same people and were in the same social circle. Both disappeared 2 months apart in a 5-mile radius here in Kingsport. At the very end of the road where Holland was living is this gas station. Up this hill is where Holland Snap was living at the time that she disappeared. Who knows? Maybe someone knows something in this gas station. We spoke to an employee who works here, and they told us that one of their nephews actually went missing a couple weeks ago. He was a teenager, and he was found a week later after he vanished, and someone had dropped him off behind a public business. When Holland went missing, she was driven from the location where she was living at to Bell Ridge Drive. A woman had said that she had seen Holland on this road. Something makes me want to go back to this gas station. It's in such close proximity to where she lived. Here is an aerial view of the Greenbelt Trail, which is near where Layla was last seen. Last weekend, we were handing out flyers at the Kingsport Parade. Here's Layla and Holland's foster mother. It was just so heartbreaking to see. It's important to keep their stories alive and not forget, because someone in this town has to know something. Make sure to join this Facebook group. It's the official one that Layla's mother runs. Make sure to share their story with other creators, because the more people that talk about them, the more chances of someone knowing something will see it. The third
So there you go. There's some of the content that we did on our last trip to Tennessee. Again, you know, we're just trying to advocate for Layla. Layla needs attention. Layla needs to be found. People need to be cooperating with law enforcement. They don't need to be hiding behind PIs and giving statements to PIs. A PI cannot provide a statement, okay? Cannot provide a statement on behalf of another person. It's hearsay. That cannot happen. So anybody that's trying to fill your minds and souls with a bunch of garbage, that's exactly what it is. So for the people out there, I don't care what these people are telling you, come forward, talk to law enforcement, tell them what you know. There's a $3,000 reward, hard, cold cash right now for anybody with information leading to the whereabouts of Layla Santanello. You know, we just need to find Layla. Where is she? Where did she go? Somebody knows something out in the Kingsport area. Let me see if there's anything else. We've got a lot of clips here.
The son of the man.
Can you?
No, I can.
A little update about Jonathan's killers.
Hold on.
All 14
I love that guy. I do love him. Give me just a second. Having a little lag. I'm running too much stuff on my.
Y'all, Matt Reif blocked me on Instagram.
Okay.
I'm also going to show you something else that he did that's incredibly fucked up.
It's Justin on TikTok. He's actually kind of cool. There she is. She does the best videos. We all know she does the best videos. Let me find my Layla videos. Does she have them on her backup? Here's one. That's from a while ago. Let me see her backup. Here we go. I don't know how she has it. Here we go.
Now it's Shauna. All three missing in this small town. Layla was last seen here, Holland here, and Shauna also where Layla was last
And
seen.
Shauna's been found.
This is a 5-mile radius. And let's zoom in here. This is the parking lot, 5 below, where Shauna.
This is why we were so concerned about this Shauna Lee, because she literally disappeared from the exact location that Layla was last seen.
This is Holland Snap.
19 years old, missing from Kingsport, Tennessee, missing October 15th. Hasn't been heard from since. Layla Santanello, missing June 27th, 21 years old, has a baby. 19 years old, 2 young women in the same small town missing. They were in the same social circle. They knew some of the same people. So why do we have 2 young girls that looked very similar missing in the same social group? Share the story. The news media are not really talking about it. We need this story to get out of Tennessee now. You see this video and you're a content creator, make a video. And look at this truck right here.
I gotta say, she had a great camera woman behind that camera. I won't say who is the camera woman. I won't say it. Boy, Olivia has a great camera woman. I need to stop. What else do we have? So yeah, we've just got them. Oh, and I wanted to show you before we leave. She's got a new one for I'm pretty sure where was it? I thought I saw it. The one for here for Layla or for Summer Wells.
What's that?
Less than 2 miles away from this location, a 5-year-old girl vanished 2 years ago. Just off this road is where Summer Wells vanished.
It's a little concerning.
We stumbled upon this abandoned home from the 1950s. Time stands still in this home. An old clock that's probably 3 times my age. I wonder what memories were made here. Who lived here? Birds and swallows nest in the crevices, making it their home now. The season greetings box looks like a sewing kit. A mess of old clothing and old books.
Clippings from old books. I don't know. This just gives me a weird, creepy vibe. Universal.
Lots of stuff. Old. That's all I can say. Stuff went back to like 1956. About to start over. Try to get it before it does. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. We've done a lot of work together. We've done a lot of work together around this country. That's for sure. And we'll just continue doing the work that we do. All right, Jen, I've got to go too. We're almost at the top of our Frankie Towers. Nice to see you, love. We're at the top of our 2 hours anyways. So that really is the commentary. We just wanted to give this time to Layla Santanello. Christmas is coming. I hope people open their hearts and souls and realize this mother needs your help. If you have any information, please come forward. The family's begging you. I know that sometimes it's tough to do the right thing. Trust me, we all have to make those decisions for ourselves each and every day. What is the right thing to do for us? But I'm asking you and pleading with you, and I know Jennifer Santanello as well as Nova Grace are also pleading with you. If you have any information about what happened to Layla, even if it seems minor to you, maybe it's just a conversation with somebody. Maybe it's something that you saw in passing. Maybe it's a friend acting strange. Maybe it's an undertone. Anything that feels a little odd to you, a little bizarre to you, something that just makes you feel a little uneasy, even if you don't have any direct connection or knowledge that something bad happened. Maybe, why am I freezing up here? Maybe, just maybe, that little bit of information that you have might actually be something that law enforcement can use. Give me just a second, guys. There we go. This should fix the problem that we're having. I had some lag and it's coming from TikTok. So I'm just asking everybody that may have information, I know her boyfriend has spoke to law enforcement many times. I know a lot of people have a lot of questions about her boyfriend, Michael. I don't have the answers. I don't know what he said to law enforcement. I don't know what law enforcement has said to him. I believe he's had a polygraph test. I don't know really how to take the polygraph test, so I don't really have a whole lot of commentary on his polygraph test. We know that his house was searched. I don't have any commentary on the reasons or what was found in that house or why they even searched the house to begin with. But we know it was searched. It was searched publicly. I broke the case. I broke the actual search of his home on my channel. I didn't know who that house belonged to. I only knew that it was connected to her case. But law enforcement at that time would not tell us that it was connected to her case. And still to this day, I'm pretty sure law enforcement hasn't said why they searched that house. So at this point, obviously we're not going to be making comment on that. So I will ask Jen if there's any information or any comment she can make about it, and I'll let you guys know what her response is. But that's really all I can really do. I don't really have any firsthand knowledge one way or another. And it's an official statement from Steve Lawson's attorney. Have you seen it? Oh, yes, Frankie, we went over it yesterday. Yes, we saw that. Talk about, I don't know how I feel about that. Let's just dive. We spent 2 hours on Layla. Frankie, you're starting to speak to my heart because, to be honest with you, this is a case that, again, we have a family member, a Bullhorn Betty family member here that's a subscriber, that is family or related to the family of Crystal Rogers. She didn't share a whole lot of information. She was just very thankful that we were sharing the case. But yes, I did see Steve Lawson's attorney. We went over it yesterday. And for those that are here, let me just pull it up. I'll pull it up. I know right where it's at. There it is. They also did, I think it was on Facebook. Okay. For those that didn't get to see it, this is, if you're new to the case of Crystal Rogers, let me just give you kind of the Reader's Digest version of, actually, let me just play the damn video. It's so much easier just to play the video than try to keep all the details together and say something and not, because I'm going off a lot of memory. So I'm going off my own, because we cover so many cases. So I just rather, this is my official intro, my Reader's Digest version of the Crystal Rogers case. And let me pull this up. There we go. Let me play this. So for everybody that needs to be updated on this case, here is your case update. And then we'll start going into the new details of it, since we might as well, right? We might as well. Oh, I didn't even realize I'm not sharing my screen. There we go. All the technical stuff.
Crystal Rogers is a mother of 5 beautiful kids that went missing on the July 4th weekend in 2015. Her boyfriend, Brooks Houck, came under heavy scrutiny about her disappearance back in 2015, but for whatever reason, the case went cold. Well, this particular case just heated up most recently in September with the very first arrest of a gentleman by the name of Joseph Lawson. This is an employee of Brooks Houck. Brooks Houck was later arrested after Joseph Lawson, and the case kind of died out. There was some major shocks in the case when the state prosecutor, Brooks Houck's bail hearing, tells the judge that his brother, Nick, might have been the one that shot Crystal's father, Tommy Ballard. If you're unfamiliar with this case, Crystal is a beautiful young lady that disappeared in 2015, and her father went out looking for her and searching and was probably finding evidence about what happened to his daughter. Well, during a hunting, what many thought was a hunting accident on Tommy Ballard's property, he was shot to death. And apparently during this bail hearing for Brooks Houck, it was alleged that his brother Nick may have killed Crystal's father.
Today in court, prosecutors said they believe they have the gun used to kill Tommy Ballard now, connecting the investigation with the death of his daughter, Crystal Rogers.
Waiting for testing to come back on the firearm we believe was used to murder Tommy Ballard, a firearm that we purchased from Nicholas Houck, who was using a fake name when he sold the rifle.
This case has a lot of twists and turns, and that's not it. In 2013, an officer was ambushed. His name is Jason Ellis. And people are starting to feel that this Jason Ellis is connected to this particular case with Crystal Rogers and Brooks Houck. So now we have 3 people arrested in connection with the death of Crystal Rogers, although her body has not yet been found.
A third person is indicted in connection to the disappearance of Crystal Rogers. Stephen Lawson was just indicted on conspiracy to commit murder. Joseph Lawson was also indicted earlier this year on conspiracy to commit murder and tampering with physical evidence charges. Then Brooks Houck was indicted on murder. Rogers went missing in 2015, but her body has never been found.
Joseph was first arrested in the case earlier this year. Right now, Steve Lawson is in jail in Harrison County, Indiana. He'll be extradited back to Nelson County for his arraignment later this month.
Pieces falling into place 8 years after the disappearance of Crystal Rogers, the mother of 5 from Bardstown, last seen alive 4th of July weekend 2015. Now, 3 men have been linked to her death, believed to have happened that very same weekend. Joseph Lawson was the first arrest. Brooks Houck was second. Now Steve Lawson marks the third, a name not new to the investigation. In fact, it was first mentioned just months after Rogers was reported missing inside the Nelson County Sheriff's interrogation room.
Police arresting Steve Lawson today. The Nelson County grand jury indicting Lawson on 2 charges, conspiracy to commit murder and tampering with physical evidence.
Adding to the whirlwind few months it's been in the unsolved Crystal Rogers case.
But everyone is excited. This has been a long time coming.
Police say they can now tie a third person to her 2015 disappearance, charging this man, Stephen Lawson, with conspiracy to commit murder and tampering with physical evidence.
Like everybody, we just want justice for the Ballards and for people to pay for the crimes that they did.
Okay, so now you guys got that. So let's go over here to Shay. Put this up here.
This year? Earlier. What has the investigation looked like as far as you can tell?
Looked like they were trying to find evidence, and they hadn't found it yet, and they weren't satisfied.
So let me just get you guys some context. So who this guy is this is that video I just showed you talking about the third arrest. This is Stephen Lawson, that older gentleman that was just recently arrested in Indiana. He's going to be extradited back if he hasn't already. This is his attorney speaking on his behalf, and he has some jaw-dropping information that we did not know that you guys may want to pay particularly close information to. Pay close
the
attention.
Commonwealth wasn't satisfied with respect to what they had. They were looking for more.
What do you think they have on him?
I don't know if they have any more than I've told you, but they apparently they chose to indict him rather than give him the immunity that he was promised.
Oh, so he had been in discussions with them.
He has, and I have.
Regarding some sort of deal?
Immunity.
To say what he knows.
What's known as transactional immunity.
About how many times do you think police have been in touch with Stephen?
Over a dozen.
Just this year?
Many more than a dozen.
From your understanding, was Stephen Lawson involved in the death of Crystal Rogers?
No, he was not.
What do you think his connection is to this case?
He was an employee, part-time employee of Houck, and he had an association with Houck. Mr. Houck has had conversations with him about Crystal, And that's the extent of my client's involvement.
And what about that phone call? Police have released it as that it was from the interrogation room.
That's correct.
What do you make of that phone call?
It was a set-up phone call. One was supposed to call the other, and the ring came in, and they spoke.
And what about Steve's son?
Steve's son, I'm not sure about the evidence that they have against Steve's son. I know that he's extremely involved.
Do you think that Brooks Houck paid Joseph Lawson to help in the murder of Crystal Rogers?
I think the Commonwealth has been trying to establish that a payment was made. As to who that payment was made to and when it was made, I'm not privy to that information yet.
What about the vehicle in this case?
Vehicle was the maroon vehicle that was parked out on mile marker 14 on the Bluegrass Parkway heading west. It was driven out there by Joey Lawson. He had a flat tire at that mile marker, and my client received a phone call, went out there and got him, brought him back.
So Steve has told you that he went and picked up Joey from the Bluegrass Parkway where he had driven Crystal's car.
He's told the state police that, told FBI that, told the Commonwealth's attorney that from Hardin County, who's in charge of the investigation.
Any other important details that you believe prove your client's innocence?
Other than his assertion that I did not hurt Crystal and was not involved in hurting Crystal. I didn't plan to hurt Crystal. I didn't conspire to hurt Crystal. Those are his statements. And that's what he has told the Kentucky State Police, and the FBI, and the Commonwealth's attorney time after time after time in this year.
What do you anticipate will happen in court next week? At Brooks Houck's arraignment, there was a lot of bombshells dropped. Do you think we'll hear something similar?
I do. And as we move on, the Commonwealth's ready to move on after all these 8.5 years. I would say that we're going to hear some things in court that we haven't heard before.
Can you tell us when you first got in touch with?
All right, so that was Steve Lawson's attorney there with Shay McAllister. She's been covering this story. She is kind of the go-to person whenever you need some information on the Crystal Rogers and Brooks Houck. And like I said, there's a lot of moving parts because we know law enforcement truly does believe that Jason Ellis is somehow connected, either by the Lawsons, the Houcks, or to Crystal and Tommy Ballard and why they're dead. They are connected somehow. We heard through an Oxygen magazine article that it's possible from these storage unit hits and business robberies and stuff like that. And I dug deep. I dug deep in that allegation to see if it held water, to see if there's some unknown massive amount of unsolved high retail burglaries of businesses and storage units. And I'm not seeing any articles in this area related to that at all. I'm not seeing media bolstering that after this huge, Oxygen magazine article or Oxygen article came out. So I really don't think that aspect holds water, but the stuff that we've learned from Nick's interview and the stuff that we're learning from some of the behaviors of the Houcks and related to the Lawsons and stuff, there feels like there's a tinge of organized crime associated with the Houck family. And does that have something to do with the death of Jason Ellis? Now, like I said, it's a hint because I can't figure the connection out. I'm pretty sure law enforcement has a good handle on it because the IRS was on scene. That to me is serious. When you have the IRS, you're looking at a number of things that they could be charged with, from tax evasion to money laundering to something. But what really kind of pushed me over the edge with this whole, organized crime thing. Well, one, I was teasing and calling his mother Mafia Mom because of the way she looked and how she held herself in court. I had literally no idea that this case would kind of twist and turn to the point where I'm actually saying that she actually might be a Mafia Mom, so to speak, right? But seriously, we were wondering why in the world it took 8 years. He's been a suspect since October 2015, several months after Crystal Rogers disappeared. They determined she was dead, and he was the only and primary suspect in the crime. Yet it took all this time before an arrest. So he obviously, nobody knew anything. Now everything's kind of breaking open. Joseph Lawson, he seemed like he was the weakest link. According to this attorney, which represents his father, Stephen, says, hey, he's heavily involved. And what does that mean? Well, we definitely know that Joseph was driving her maroon car, and the only reason why it was on the Bluegrass Parkway was because it got a flat tire, and he needed to call his dad to pick him up. Had that flat tire not happened, where was that car going? That's my question. Where was it going? So, as at most crimes, everything doesn't go without a hitch. It doesn't seem like this, it seems there's a little hint of planning with this to me, but I don't know. I don't know if this is just a fight that just got out of control when she got to the farm, or he called her out to the farm just to get rid of her. I mean, those are questions are not clear for me right now. They're just not. It could go both ways for me, especially knowing his personality. But now that this is going on and we're finding out that Stephen Lawson has been cooperating, at least from what we know here recently, never mind the 8 years he didn't come forward and he was playing with law enforcement. Like, what idiot? I mean, I like, you don't even need to have book smarts to know that you don't want to play with law enforcement and you don't want to lie to law enforcement. Like you can have zero education, zero, common sense, and know that that is just not something you want to do. Yet here it is, Steve Lawson calling into the jail or calling or letting Brooke call him, and this whole, conversation that they had that was planned, that was written, like that was literally, he was absolutely, without a doubt, sorry guys, I got to get this thing because it's getting a little cold in here. He absolutely, without a doubt, was tampering, obstructing justice, that call. But when law enforcement comes to you or you're working toward a immunity deal, they're asking you to tell the truth. And this is where I have a problem, because had you not been dangled with this immunity, you would not have told them the truth. And I got to tell you, I don't like, if you, I'm a person, if you tell somebody you're going to do something, do it. So if this is an immunity deal where he lied, where Steve wasn't totally true, then I can understand why they charged him. If he was being totally truthful and they were working toward an immunity deal and they basically threw him under the bus after he was cooperative, I really don't, I look very poorly upon that. Unless he truly did not come fully clean. Like, you have an opportunity, this is the way I feel about it. You have an opportunity to get away with everything, right? You have an opportunity to get away with everything. They're putting an immunity deal on the table. All you are required to do is tell them every single thing you know and do not lie. That's all that's required from you. And do you know how many people still, even being presented with that, will still lie and deceive to law enforcement? I am not lying to you. Good morning, Avery. Nice to see you, love. I'm not lying. And I didn't even say hi to November Rain either. Or I am Team Summer. And everybody else I didn't see. Good morning. Good morning. I don't like it. If that's true, I just feel like this is what I honestly think happened. Am I right? No, this is just my experience and what I believe happened. What I truly believe happened is that they were working on negotiations for immunity. And I think law enforcement found out that he was deceptive. That's what I think happened. I think they found out something else that he did not tell them, or he distanced himself from them. He may have screwed his own immunity deal. That's what I truly believe happened. That's for me taking, law enforcement, as not doing shenanigans, that they would not present an immunity deal and rip it out from somebody and charge them. Like, I want to believe that no law enforcement will do that. So that statement is based on that presumption that law enforcement would not intentionally do that. Do we know what happened? We don't know. We're going to find out next week, right? Because Steve's going to be getting arraigned. There's going to be some case hearings coming up. I'm going to decide. I think I really want to go out there. I really do. But I've got depositions that are going to be coming up. So I got a budget. This month. And of course, being without income for 2 weeks is going to hurt me. No matter whether it's this month or next month, it's going to sting quite a bit. So we will figure it out. This might be a case we might have to do from here. So I'm not sure. We'll see what we can do. We'll see what kind of budget we can get. We'll see if I can get somebody to collab with me on this case. And if that all comes together, then we'll be out there with boots on the ground. So we'll see how it all works out. Just sit tight with me. I'm unsure personally. But that really is it in a nutshell. I still want to find this link between Jason Ellis and the Rogers/Ballard case. I really would. So if anybody is in this area and might have an insight in that, if you want to be public, you can always just post the information here in the chat. But if you don't want to be public and you want your name to stay out of it and to be confidential, you can reach out to me at bullhornbetty@gmail.com, bullhornbetty@gmail.com. As you know, I very rarely ever say anybody's name unless they give me permission when divulging any information. So I try to, I do have that integrity. So if you would like to sneak some information to me about this case, please consider doing so. Again, bullhornbetty@gmail.com, bullhornbetty@gmail.com. I just want to tell everybody, thank you so much for being here. As always, we're building this channel. We will have our main channel back up, lickety split. I think we have probably, I don't even know how many more days we have. We have a few days, whatever. We'll be back up over there. And then I'll be working, once my channel is back live, I'll be working on removing those other strikes on my channel permanently and getting those videos restored as soon as possible. So we're just a little ways away. So I know that we're going to rock it out with our coffee beans out. I want everyone to be fearless. If you see something, say something, because an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Until next time, guys, I want you all to be safe this holiday season. I want you to enjoy the warmth and the love of your loved ones. This is not going to be the last show for Bullhorn Betty, but I'm probably going to say this on just about every show leading up to Christmas. I know there's a lot of people out there that are alone this year. And I want you guys to think of it a couple different ways. You can think of it as you don't have the hustle and bustle, right? But you can also think of it as this. There's probably somebody else, probably a neighbor, probably somebody you know, probably somebody that you love, that is probably also having a Christmas by themselves. If you know anyone in your, even if you have a huge, big family and you know the gal down the road, lost her husband or is struggling this year, or, the car broke down, maybe just go over there and say, hey, we have an extra place to sit at our Christmas table, just invite them, let them know that they're loved this year. That really is the message. We want to spread love. We want to inspire people to do better in their community. We want people to show support for one another, and we want to be kind and good stewards of our community. So I hope you guys all do that. Don't forget, like I said, please be safe. And I also want you guys to be kind to one another, including on social media, in these chat boxes. These are real people. You need to realize when words hurt you, they could hurt other people. So be kind with your words. It is the holiday season. Show some dignity, please. We say no to online bullying. We say no to online harassment. And we're going to continue for our campaign for change here on social media, on YouTube, as well as other social media platforms. So guys, God bless each and every one of you, and we'll see you soon.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.